UK professor is hoping to stop the spread of the Zika virus before it shows up in Kentucky.
And new crime-fighting software looks to help police gather data on potential criminals, why some are worried it could go too far.
This is WKYT News at 5:30.
Good evening to you. A mosquito expert with UK is leading the charge in the fight against Zika virus. Today, he met with the state health department in Frankfurt to discuss the potential for an outbreak here in Kentucky once warmer weather hits.
Rebecca Smith talked to him about his plan to fight the spread of the rapidly growing virus.
The next couple of months will tell experts a lot about a potential outbreak of Zika here in Kentucky.
We don't know that just because there are no reported cases, that there are no cases. If it does show up in Kentucky, we won't start seeing locally acquired cases until sometime in July.
Grayson Brown is director of the University of Kentucky's Public Health Entomology Laboratory. He knows a thing or two about the spread of mosquitoes and is using his expertise to contribute to a solution to the worldwide epidemic of Zika, a virus that's spread by mosquitoes and through sexual contact.
Ultimately, what's going to stop the spread of Zika is enough people will become exposed to it that they'll become immune to it. It'll become an occasional childhood disease.
We asked Brown about the World Health Organization's stance on further field trials and risk assessment of introducing genetically modified mosquitoes into the problem population of mosquito strain.
GMO mosquitoes were released to seek out the last remaining survivors. They'll find them wherever they are, in somebody's backyard, up underneath eaves, in the bushes, wherever they are. These GMO mosquitoes will find them, mate with them, and then those last few mosquitoes will not have babies.
Also not having babies, women in Brazil who've been told to hold off for at least the next couple of years.
People are just really creeped out by this, and people are holding off having babies, starting families. I think it's horrible right now.
In Lexington, Rebecca Smith, WKYT.
Brown is spearheading a March meeting in Brazil and is going to England this week to meet with experts on the issues of genetically modified mosquitoes.
It looks like we'll be getting a bit of a break from this winter weather, at least for a little while.
WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey joins us now with an early look at that forecast.
Yeah, the break is on the way for the next several days. Hoping to get it into town sooner rather than later. Boy, oh boy, it has been absolutely on the nasty side out there for the past couple of weeks, hasn't it? Temperatures right now into the mid-30s. We've got the low clouds, drizzle, snowflake, still snow on the ground, yucky weather to say the least, and at its finest or absolute worst. All about your perspective. Starting to see a ray of sun into the Ohio River counties between Covington and Louisville. Northwesterly winds are very light right now across parts of central and eastern Kentucky, but look out to our west. It's 49 into the St. Louis area. Paducah hit 50 this afternoon, 60 into Kansas City, Springfield, Missouri. That's the air we're going to get in on as we go through the day tomorrow. Short term, though, it's all about readings that drop toward 30 degrees. Slick spot or two may try to pop later this evening as roads are still at least a little on the damp side. Guys, when I come back in a little bit, we will talk about 60s into Kentucky and also winter making a comeback shortly thereafter. That's in 10 minutes.
Thank you, Chris. Police have made an arrest on the shooting of a Louisville mail carrier. Eric Bennett is charged with attempted murder. Officers say Bennett shot at a mail carrier more than once while he was on his route. It's not clear why the mailman was targeted. A Jefferson County judge entered a not guilty plea on Eric Bennett's behalf.
Sir, do you understand what you're accused of?
No, sir.
Okay. You're accused of shooting a U.S. postal carrier while he was in the process of delivering U.S. mail. The victim was shot multiple times, causing serious injury and the potential for death.
Shooting a U.S. mail carrier is a federal offense. Bennett is now expected to go before a federal judge. Court records show he's already a convicted felon.
A police officer was injured this morning while trying to help another officer. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Boyle County. Just before 10 this morning, Danville Police Detective Robert Ladd's vehicle was hit when another vehicle tried to make a turn near 4th Street and Martin Luther King Boulevard. Ladd went to the hospital where he was treated and released. Kentucky State Police are investigating the crash. In Morgan County, police are warning of a new phone scam with a holiday spin. Police in West Liberty say an unknown man is calling people claiming to be with the police department. He claims to be seeking donations for Easter baskets. Police say the man speaks with a foreign accent and the number shows unavailable on caller ID. West Liberty police say they are not seeking donations of any kind and remind people not to give out personal financial information over the phone to anyone that you might not know. And in Pulaski County, deputies arrested a man on multiple charges from 2 counties. Sheriff's deputies found 41-year-old Eddie Correll hiding in the attic of an apartment on West Highway 80. Correll faces charges in Russell County for burglary, criminal mischief, and theft, along with similar charges in Pulaski County. Deputies say as they were making the arrest, Correll took off, slightly injuring his mother by knocking her down.
A new piece of crime-fighting software is helping some police gather online data about potential criminal suspects. But some people say the program called Beware goes too far and could lead to people being unfairly targeted. Police in Fresno, California are among the first in this country to use this program.
That's how fast it happens.
The software program called Beware dives deep into the web, searching public records from property archives to arrest reports. It's giving police a heads up about who officers may encounter before they head to a call. A star warns of prior crimes.
Somebody that has had a past arrest for robbery, assault with a deadly weapon, that bit of information may cause the officer to handle that call a little bit differently.
Shots fired at officers.
Fresno, California police used the system after a man opened fire on 2 officers. They ran the license plate of the suspect's car through Beware, which revealed the vehicle's owner and his criminal record. A short time later, he was caught. But Beware is controversial. The software assigns a threat level of red, yellow, or green for residents at a given address. How that color score is calculated is unclear even to police.
We want greater transparency.
ACLU attorney Jessica Price is also concerned about the program's ability to screen public social media posts.
People want to be free to post on their social media without fear of government profiling or harassment just because they did something like post criticism of the police.
Fresno PD opted out of Beware's color-coded threat system and social media screening after public backlash, but the chief insists the program is necessary.
When you look at the amount of technology that is out there today that criminals are using, it's important for law enforcement to access those same tools.
He believes Beware is keeping both police and citizens safer. In Trado, the company that makes Beware will not reveal how its software calculates its controversial color code, what it does with the information that is collected, and how many agencies use its program.
A large gathering in Frankfort today as supporters of the Kentucky Competitive Workforce Act took to the Capitol. House Bill 155 would offer discrimination protections for gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender workers. Caitlin Sentner joins us now live from Frankfort with more. Caitlin?
Earlier today, the rotunda filled with LGBT rights supporters wanting their message heard loud and clear. They want fairness for all in Kentucky.
This flag represents America as it is today.
The State House rotunda filled today with many fighting the same fight.
What do we want? When do we want it? Go get it!
As a straight person, you know, I don't even have a dog in the fight, so to speak. But I care about my neighbors.
8 cities in Kentucky have amended their civil rights laws to prohibit discrimination against the LGBT community.
I have a transgender son who came out a little over a year ago, and it just sharpened the issue for me to think of the kinds of discrimination and problems he might face in the workplace.
But ralliers want the state to take action.
Everyone has a right to earn a living. Everyone has a right to rent an apartment.
Doesn't it make sense that we include sexual orientation? You shouldn't be able to fire someone just because they're gay. You shouldn't be able to kick someone out of a restaurant just because they're gay.
A Judiciary Committee talked about House Bill 155 Wednesday. It would prohibit discrimination against someone for their sexual preference or their gender identity.
This bill has been introduced for about 17 or 18 years here in the General Assembly, and today was only the second ever hearing on the legislation.
Chris Hartman says he believes Kentucky stands for fairness.
We certainly always had support, but we've never seen such voluminous support like we have now.
No action was taken today on the House bill in committee. Senate Bill 5 is also making its way through legislature. If passed, it would allow for spouse to be on marriage licenses rather than just husband and wife. Live in Frankfort, Caitlin Setner, WKYT.
And again, lawmakers were expected to vote on that Senate Bill number 5 today. They decided to come back to it at another date.
Crews in an eastern Kentucky county are busy trying to repair roads damaged from this latest winter weather. That's ahead on WKYT News at 5:30.
I'm Bill Bryant. Countdown now to Kentucky's Republican presidential caucus. But will other candidates drop out before March 5th? The bottom line is coming up.
And then on WKYT News at 6, a frightening ordeal for workers at a Georgetown pizza place where a masked man robbed them at gunpoint.
Brought to you by CareSource, as caring as you.
Home security can be easier than you think. Whether you're a first-time customer or you're unhappy with your current service, Bates simplifies security and makes switching your service to Bates easy. You keep your existing equipment and we do the rest. Switch your system today and get 3 months free monitoring. Recently named Central Kentucky Small Business of the Year.
Bates Security, protecting what matters most.
You're probably wondering, with all the meat that Arby's has, do they have ocean meat? Well, wonder no longer. Arby's has more wild-caught Alaskan pollock fillets than you could ever imagine, especially if you're only imagining one fillet. Eat 2 crispy fish fillet sandwiches or flatbreads for $5. Arby's, we have the meats.
Grab my lipstick. Hey, what are you doing?
Getting the coats.
For a half hour?
Bob just got Time Warner Cable. He's getting more.
More what?
More than 30,000 movies and shows on demand, most for free. Look, he's DVRing like 6 shows at once.
Let's go.
Oh, this grass is so much greener than on our TV.
Why are your shoes off?
Because I'm on their bed. I don't want to be rude.
Discover how much more is included.
Are those meatballs still circulating?
Switch to Time Warner Cable today and ask how you could get a $300 reward card.
Change is taking root in Frankfort. We need a voice that'll be heard. Daniel Elliott is the conservative for Boyle and Casey counties. Dedicated to protect our God-given freedoms from Obama liberals, Daniel will ensure government is held accountable and our Kentucky values are protected. Daniel Elliott will fight government overreach that's crippled our economy. We need a strong voice. On Tuesday, March 8th, vote Daniel Elliott for state representative.
Value City Furniture presents how to know when it's time. First, look for a sign that it's time to buy new furniture. Any sign? At all. Then, follow the signs to the President's Day sale at Value City Furniture. Hurry in for savings as good as a tax break, plus free delivery, or enjoy 36 months, no interest financing. Perfect. And that's how to buy the perfect piece at Value City Furniture.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
The presidential race will soon make its way to Kentucky when the state holds its Republican caucus next month.
Bill Bryant has more on the state of the race in today's Bottom Line.
Good evening. With the Kentucky Republican presidential caucus just 2.5 weeks away, it is unclear who may be a casualty of the South Carolina primary this Saturday or the other contests between now and then. Donald Trump is leading the polls in the Palmetto State, and some analysts say if Jeb Bush doesn't exceed expectations after investing millions of dollars and days on the ground and bringing in well-known family members, South Carolina's results could make it hard for him to continue. Also, between now and the Kentucky caucus on March 5th is a Nevada caucus and a cluster of Super Tuesday primaries coming up as well in March. It is being called the SEC primary because many of those contests are in the Southeast. A new poll out shows which presidential candidates scare Americans the most, and it turns out it's some of the ones who are also doing best in the polls. The USA Today Suffolk poll shows 38% most fear Donald Trump, 33% say Hillary Clinton, and 28% named Bernie Sanders as the one they most fear getting to the White House. Former state auditor Adam Edlin, a Democrat who was defeated for re-election, putting his political career on hiatus, is starting to speak out now. In an op-ed piece, Edlin is criticizing Governor Bevin's budget proposal. He said Kentucky is headed the wrong way, down a dangerous road. Edlin criticized proposed cuts to universities and broadband access, and he called for a direct source of revenue to deal with the pension crisis. University of Louisville President James Ramsey's future apparently under some discussion. WHAS-TV in Louisville reports there's been considerable tension between Ramsey and the U of L athletics since Ramsey announced that self-imposed ban on men's postseason basketball play. The U of L Board of Trustees is set for a meeting in less than 2 weeks on March 1st. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
Highway crews in Johnson County are hard at work repairing a stretch of road damaged by the winter weather. Yesterday, pavement broke and an embankment failed, shutting down one lane of Kentucky 3388. This morning, workers closed part of the road for hours to fix the problem. Officials say moisture and a tree caused the damage.
A big sycamore tree, probably 3 foot in diameter, round. It fell over, and when it did, it just loosened up everything in behind the drilled steel and washed out.
The crews waited to shut the road down until students were in school. It was reopened about 3 o'clock this afternoon.
The life-size Noah's Ark exhibit under construction in northern Kentucky is one step closer to its unveiling this summer. This Saturday, Answers in Genesis, the group behind the Ark, will host the media for a look inside the massive museum dedicated to the biblical story of Noah and the flood. Last month, a federal judge ruled that the exhibit in Grant County was eligible for tax incentives from the state that could be worth up to $18 million.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Temperatures out there this afternoon basically on par compared to what we were looking at this same point yesterday. Moral of the story, the more things change, the more they stay the same. We look outside right now, 35 Lexington. That number is dropping, and all the numbers are dropping throughout the land. 32 cold spot into Moorhead and Mount Sterling. Little area of drizzle, maybe some snowflakes out there. Warmer to the west, 40s western Kentucky. You've got some sun out there. Some folks get all the luck. Around here, it's all about, again, the clouds, fog, ugly, dreary, yucky, whatever you want to, whatever way you want to describe it. Just keep it clean. We are seeing some holes in the clouds that are following the clearing line into western Kentucky, or preceding the clearing line into western Kentucky. Those clouds now filling in across parts of the bluegrass region. Later this evening, yes, you will likely see at least a star or two trying to poke through some of those clouds. Got to get rid of this northwesterly flow completely to get rid of the overcast conditions. Hour by hour forecast. Let's go through the evening. Let's focus on the city of Lexington. Notice all the clouds that are around 32 degrees. Heading into 11, we've dropped it to 27. We'll hold into the upper 20s through first thing tomorrow morning. By your lunchtime hour, 37. Watch the jump, though, tomorrow afternoon. 4 o'clock rolls around. Thermometer, 45 degrees. We can handle that. Did you notice the sun out there, too? 10 o'clock tomorrow night, 38 degrees. Look at the winds now. Start to focus on those wind gusts for Friday. Temperatures jump, winds gust to 40 miles an hour or greater. Noon on Friday. Got some sun, 43 mile per hour wind, and temperatures that'll make a run towards 60 into the afternoon. Well, again, those winds on Friday that may crank up greater than 40 or 45 miles per hour. 3-day threat track. Well, that's the highlight of the 3-day threat track would be those gusty winds as we go into Friday. If we are to get a wind gust that is greater than 40 miles an hour with a soggy ground, some of those weak trees, it would be easy to uproot a few of those. Saturday. Weekend is here. It's mild, but it's not like it is a beautiful, picture-perfect weekend, okay? So if we've got visions of the birds that are chirping, blue skies everywhere, flowers beginning to bloom, it's not that kind of a spring weekend. It's a mild one, but there's a chance for a shower or two around as we go into the day on your Saturday, maybe Friday night into Saturday morning. Wind gusts will take center stage on Friday in addition to the mild temperatures. This is a different computer model compared to the one we were looking at for that Lexington hour by hour. This one cranks up those winds to better than 50 miles per hour. Hold on to your hats if that is indeed the case right on through your Friday evening. But those winds are coming from the southwest, and it is to our southwest. Record warm temperatures are developing across the plain states. We're kind of sandwiched in between some colder air to the north, the record warmth to the west. That's why those winds are really going going to crank up as we go into the weekend. But I'll take 60. I don't care if it's 40-mile-an-hour winds or whatever. Just give me some 60. Give me some spring, Mother Nature. And then she takes it right back from us. Just a tease into the weekend for spring. Early next week, we'll see the jet stream take a big dip and more winter weather likely across the eastern part of the country.
So pretty nice weekend, but not totally.
It's not. It's not just birds chirping, as I said, blue skies, daffodils blooming, all that kind of stuff.
Okay, thanks, Chris.
All right.
Live look at Lexington traffic flow this afternoon. A couple of spots still slow from earlier crashes, but now we're working one at High and Martin Luther King. That's a non-injury collision the police are working at this moment. It's causing some trouble downtown. Then over to the north side, the crash at Georgetown and Ash has been cleared, but they're still working with Georgetown and Citation. That's affecting both in- and outbound traffic on Georgetown Road. Drive times impacted because of the weather a little bit this afternoon. It's a slower ride at I-75 across the Clays Ferry Bridge into Madison County. The Winchester still looks okay, and no major hiccups right now headed to Nicholasville on Nicholasville Road. Now back to you in the studio.
Coach Cowell wasn't around long for his team's last game.
He was not. Cal thrown out at South Carolina, and it all happened so fast in the opening minutes of the game. Isaiah Briscoe talking about what happened. Wait till you hear what he has to say about it. That's next in sports.
CBS Tonight.
Drop it! Drop the axe! Whoa! Don't shoot me!
In the ER, doctors have faced every crisis imaginable, but this is a new one.
What the? We were at a zombie convention. You kidding me?
You can't become a zombie unless you get bitten by one.
Huh? Zombie 101.
Code Black. New CBS Tonight. Or stream it live or on demand. The treasure folks are loving is the ocean's greatest haul. McDonald's Filet-O-Fish, the most golden of them all.
Right now, get 2 flaky Filet-O-Fish sandwiches for just $5.
When it comes to your heart, there's one team that's leading the way to better care in the area: Baptist Health. Our team exceeds national standards for heart attack care and has been recognized with top quality ratings for cardiac surgery. From clinical research trials to advanced imaging and surgical options, our heart specialists provide nationally recognized comprehensive care. Right here at Baptist Health.
It took Jen Nelson years to master the vision of directing Kung Fu Panda 3, drawing inspiration from whatever comes her way. But only one take to master sending money with Chase QuickPay.
Today is gonna be a good day.
Technology designed for you, so you can easily master the way you bank.
Philip Pratt, a proud grandfather, a loving and caring family man, a hard-working small business owner, someone who knows how to grow jobs and change the landscape in Frankfurt. Philip Pratt will hold government accountable responsibly, fight Obama's crippling government overreach on our agriculture economy, and preserve our Kentucky heritage in Owen and Scott County. On Tuesday, March 8th, vote Philip Pratt for state representative.
If you have questions about your on-the-job injury, visit forthepeople.com for more information. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Wouldn't it be great to know what your car payment will be before you visit the dealership?
Thanks to Your Deal, Your Way, now available exclusively at paulmillermazda.com, you can pick your payments and negotiate the best price for your new Mazda.
This is the easy, convenient, and private way to get your deal your way.
Visit paulmillermazda.com to get the deal you love online.
Your deal, your way.
Points, click, save. paulmillermazda.com.
These gray skies, we could shake them up, we could
Wake up with a hot McCafe coffee starting at only $1.
I'm WKYT's Miranda Combs, and I stand for Kentucky.
Well, it was stunning what happened in Saturday's game. John Calipari ejected just 2 minutes and 26 seconds in. No one was more surprised than one of his players, freshman Isaiah Briscoe. Has John Calipari ever been as mad as he was Saturday in Columbia?
I think so. I think so.
Still, it was a stunning turn of events in a game. He had never seen anything like Saturday with his head coach tossed.
I mean, when it was happening, I was just like, I was just watching, just looking like, oh, coach, you. then I seen him get the first tag, and then once he got the second one, I seen Jamal holding him back, and then he was kind of like muscling Jamal, so I went over there and helped Jamal.
And Briscoe found out one thing about Cal that he maybe didn't know.
Oh, Coach strong. Yeah, coach is strong. At the same time, he's our coach, so if he wasn't, I don't even think he was paying attention to me and Jamal holding him back. He was just trying to talk to the refs, so.
And with Cal gone, the Cats took care of business, putting together a devastating performance on the road.
Before Coach left, we told him, Coach, we got this. Don't worry about it. You always have our back. You always put us first. We got your back on this one. And then the next time out, whatever, we just said, yo, we got to go beat this team by 30. They threw our coach out the game. Let's go beat them by 30.
Well, the Cats won by 27. They have Tennessee coming in tomorrow night, 7 o'clock on ESPN. Lafayette offensive lineman and senior-to-be Jed Wills is thought to be Mark Stoops' top recruiting target in the class of 2017. Today, he picked up yet another scholarship offer. Today, it was Penn State, a day after Michigan also offered. The 6'5", 310-pound Willis is considered the 36th overall prospect by 24/7 Sports in the class of 2017, moving up 79 spots from the previous update. Wills has offers from Kentucky, Alabama, Florida, Auburn, Miami, LSU, and many others. And former Tate's Creek All-Stater Pete Nocta overcame a well-publicized battle with stage 4 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Today, U of L hired him as the program's director of on-campus recruiting. Nocta will be responsible for the organization of all recruiting efforts and maintain relationships with high school coaches within the state. Pete's dad, John, coached at Bryan Station and is the principal at Henry Clay. In the next half hour, we'll hear from former Wildcat Avery Williamson. Stay with us.